What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the NRW show. I am Rob Medina, and I got the legend himself, Mr. Kuya P. Mr. Kuya P, how you doing today, good sir?
I am well, sir. Crazy, busy week. We are in April. We're in fucking April. How
halfway through April, if you think about it.
April already. Like, it's crazy. I'm an April fool. I don't understand. I don't even understand.
It's crazy. We're already in the halfway point of April this time. And just yesterday, it was just the beginning of 2022. And here we are in halfway through April. It's crazy, man.
It's insane.
Crazy year, man. Well, I can see that we are preparing for something really special here today because for those who don't know, we are going to be just getting into some reactions here for upcoming films that will be coming out this week. So for anyone who has not followed us on our social media accounts, be sure to check us out on our Twitter at the NRW and on Instagram, New Release Wednesdays, where you can follow up on all the updates for all the films that are coming out this week that we probably haven't gotten to here. So as of today, we're going to be getting to 3 films that are my top picks this week that I'm pretty sure Mr. Kuya P is going to be in agreement with, I would say, for the most part. So we'll see what his reaction is going to be as we get into the reviews here, or the reaction I'm going to say for the trailers. But before we do that, let's get into what we have going on here. So Mr. Kuya P, what do you have in the works right now?
Wow, man. Insanity, busy, craziness. This week, a whole slew of things were posted up over the weekend. The Brothers Garcia was a very popular Latin American show on Nickelodeon, I believe, and it was narrated by John Leguizamo. They are back again. The creator is back again with now just the Garcias. It's coming to HBO Max this week. I had the blessing of checking out the entire new season of the Garcias on HBO Max, as well as participating in a press conference and speaking with the whole cast. And so over the weekend, I got up the interviews for all of that with the Garcias, as well as the press conferences that were I was present and able to attend. Just an amazing cast. What I love about the show and what they're emphasizing is that, I'm a very proud Filipino American. But beyond just being a Filipino, I'm a person. And while I love celebrating my Filipino-ness, can I just be Patrick? I don't have to, while I celebrate my culture, it doesn't always have to be my culture. Like if I'm given the opportunity to have my show on a channel, I don't want to be a token ding, 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 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Have that stereotype in there or that culture in there forced upon me just to have that representation. Although I cherish it, it shouldn't be forced. And what was very emphasized during the press conference by the creators, by all involved, is they're just a fucking family. This is a family show. It's so wholesome. It's so real. It's so good. If you haven't checked out the original Brothers Garcia, it's a family classic, if you will, that was on Nickelodeon, but now they're back and it's now, they're playing up current time. So the kids the young brothers that were the youngsters in the original show are now the adults. And you have the young daughters that are kind of now one of them is the narrator, and we're following them a little bit with the brothers now as the adults. And it's so good. It's just so wholesome. And just the whole cast is amazing. The representation is there, and they're all about the representation, but they don't want that to just be, it's a Latino show and I'm out because I don't speak Spanish or this, that, and the third. No, this show is for everybody, man. And it's beautiful. And I just want to emphasize that because that was emphasized by them, and it's wholesome. It's for the whole family. Everybody can watch it. And really, man, it tugs at your heart. I love it. It was a great cast, a great interview, a great watch. Check it out. It's dropping this week on HBO Max. I have all that up there on the NR Dub. Also, what do we got? Well, a bunch of reactions. Me and Rob and everybody, when we're doing this weekly, we record reactions once we're done. I had a slew that I had to get up onto the channel that are now up and available. Check them out. New show, Pal Show this week with Ariana Bosco, Lady Bosco, if you will, the representing female of the brothers Bosco, that you also know from the Fabulous Filipino Brothers. One of the longest show Pal Show interviews I've ever recorded. Check that out. We went real deep. I hope the brothers don't kill me because she kind of went in a little bit, but there's also love there. Brothers and sisters are going to argue. They're going to fight, especially when you're the only one amongst 4 brothers. So it goes in. It's real deep of an interview. Shout out to Ariana. And man, there's a whole slew of stuff, and I'm trying to remember it all. Oh, American Song Contest. As of this recording, I will be talking with the contestants for week 4, not too long after we're done with this, as well as talking to Snoop Dogg again. Shout out to NBC and American Song Contest. I love music. I love performing. I love singers. I love Snoop. I love all that. And so there's going to be a lot of American Song Contest content coming up, and a bunch of features that I'm talking to. And whew, just before we started, Rob was like trying to talk to me, and I was working on one interview and working on another interview, getting these things set up. I got a busy week, y'all, but that just means a lot of content is coming your way. Rob, I'm done. I can't say no more. It's on you now. What do you got going on with you?
I just want to give you props, man, because that amount of energy you got right there, it was just shining right through, and I can see why you were asked back to join in with that press junket there, because you have so much going on in there, man, and how you're able to do this, man, is beyond me. I give you props on many occasions for good reason, because you are the fucking man when it comes to doing the job done. When you need to get the job done, you do it. And it's hard. People don't understand how hard shit is here. And and we always point to Patrick as being the head of the group for good reasons, because he's on top of all this shit here. So if anything, man, I got to give you props, and I cannot go say anything else without having to say that for you, man, because you really
I appreciate it, sir, man. Yo,
seriously,
just doing what I love and doing it with other brothers like yourself that I love, man. Got to putting in that work, man. So how about you? Man. What you got going on? Yeah, and you don't have to feel like you got to match essence.
No.
You put in work with a lot of other things as well. So what do you got going on, man?
Well, no, I got this new episode this week dropping for You're So Cool with Rob Medina, with a Mexican punk rock band out of Mexico City called Camichis, which is actually technically, well, no, I wouldn't say technically. This is my first official Spanish interview, but my Spanish isn't the greatest, but I was able to understand everything they said. So sorry, guys, there's going to be no subtitles. So if you want to know what they're going to say, you're just going to have to learn the language. And secondly, I did speak in English. They say some things in English back too, but it was all mostly in Spanish, and it was a lot of fun. And quite frankly, we were just conversing about the most random things, which is the beauty about the conversation, because we were just trying to get to know each other, and we had a blast. One of them happens to be a Carolina Panthers fan. I had no idea that there are some Carolina Panthers out in Mexico. So I come to find out during the conversation there. So it was little things like that that I truly enjoyed. So I got that going on here, and I plan on having 2 reviews this week here. I haven't really officially announced as of yet what they're going to be, just because I'm just trying to make sure we get our timing coordinated with all the embargo and whatnot. So that's going to be working the pipeline here, and bunch of other interviews that are in the works as well too. Otherwise, I have nothing else really going on here other than just some things that are in the works that I'm working really hard to get happening here, and then just some more reviews that I'm also trying to coordinate to get all out in time for these releases here. But other than that, that is it for me.
Dope. Okay, cool. Looking forward to checking that out, as well as the all Spanish You're So Cool. Well, somewhat Spanish, right? Quick question. I had talked about the Garcias earlier. Again, I can't recommend enough. It's a great family show.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the original show, The Brothers Garcia?
I watched it as a kid growing up. Yeah, I was one of the reasons why I saw the show, because as a kid growing up, I watched a lot of TV, and the fact that it was just a Hispanic family, very similar to what I have with my background, of course. So I was very much into it. I was a little bummed out they canceled, I think, after 2 seasons or something like that. I can't recall how many seasons.
Yeah, I can't recall how many seasons it was. I want to say 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was around that, and I was kind of bummed out that they canceled it. And when I heard about they're pretty much bringing everyone back here, I was very excited they were taking that approach here, and they're putting it on HBO Max. So I'm not sure, because I was concerned, is it going to be more like R-rated stuff, or is it going to be very similar to the tone that we got from the Nickelodeon show as when I was a kid? It's
the old tone, very G-rated, the whole family. Because it's great, bro. Let me tell you, it's really good.
I wanted that consistency with that, because if they changed the whole tone of it, I was like, oh man, is it going to be consistent with what I remember as a kid? But not that I would be against it, but the fact that I'm hearing from what you're saying there, it's pretty consistent with what we got before, but just in HBO Max. Yeah, I'm all in. So yeah, I'm all for that show. I loved it as a kid. And it was actually one of the very few times as a kid when I was growing up that I was really bummed out that it stopped, because I love what they were doing with that show. And it showed a different side of American culture that most people tend to overlook. And I'm happy they were bringing this back here now for the next generation, if you will. So I'm all for it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, if you check it out, let me know, because friend to the channel now, Bobby Gonzalez, who's one of the original Garcia brothers, is a friend of mine now. We got close after the interview, and he wants to come on and talk with me even longer. So if you get a chance to watch it, I'd love to have you speak with me, because I didn't watch the original. I watched a little bit of the original stuff, the original Brothers Garcia stuff, but I've watched all of this new Garcia stuff. So I might have to go back. But Bobby's a great guy, man. And if you check it out, want to join me, love to have you contribute on that interview and conversation. So
I would love to.
Thanks, man. We got a slew of picks. Let's talk about your first one out the gate, brother.
All right. So for my first pick here, and this time I promise no punchlines here because I was horrible last time I did it. So I'm going to be picking out 3 films. The first, which is going to be one of my films with one of my favorite actors of all time, in Mark Wahlberg, alongside with Mr. Mel Gibson, for the film Father Stu. So let's check out the trailer here.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg. I am so excited to share with you the trailer for my new movie, Father Stu. I found his story to be so inspiring that I knew I had to find a way to bring it to the big screen. Here's the trailer to Father Stu.
I don't like that stash. I'll have to say, especially that stash.
7th time's a charm.
So you're not digging it?
I'm being active.
Oh God. You don't belong with those LA folks. They're a bunch of fascist hippies.
What brings you here?
And I figured no better place to be discovered than the supermarket.
Hey, did I see you on a television series?
You do movies? You don't work in the entertainment industry at all?
No, man.
You don't know you're fussing with his truck?
I'm the son, I'm just borrowing it.
I reckon it's a few months' worth of cleanups on aisle 4 to pay off a DUI impound.
What can I get for you, miss? I got beef.
I can see that.
Hey! Hey!
Let's not waste either of our time. I'm a Catholic.
Well, ain't that what confession's for?
I can't date someone who isn't baptized.
I thought you was gonna say Hispanic. Where's the water? I'll do it now. I know I'm not what you used to, and not what you deserve either.
Life's gonna give you a gut full of reasons to be angry. You only need one to be grateful.
I think God saw something in you worth saving, but it's up to you to decide what you've got to offer.
It's the place you told me you believed in me. I thought it made sense being back here to do this.
Your son is about to make a huge mistake.
Well, I'm gonna be a priest.
For Halloween.
I'm praying for you, Bill.
Don't you dare! You're violating my rights! There's a man going round taking names.
We've all been wronged, and we've all done some wrong. But he came to forgive us.
Everybody won't be treated all the same.
There's no easy way to deliver this news. You have a progressive muscle disorder. The muscles weaken until they cease to function.
Is there anything it doesn't mess with?
Yeah, erectile function.
I'm trying to be a priest, pal.
The wise men will bow down before the throne.
I want no doubt. Why? Like,
And at his feet, they'll cast their golden crown.
Man don't lose when he gets knocked down, but when he won't get up.
Hi, baby.
There is concern amongst the diocese.
You know what? It's Easter weekend. Of course, they're having a redemption story coming up on Easter
To
weekend.
the words long written down.
what you guys get? One phone call a week in here? Who you gonna call, huh? When no one else gives a shit what you got to say, God does.
When the man comes around.
He ain't giving up on you. Don't you dare go giving up on yourself.
Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers. 100 million angels singing.
Where are you going?
Well, I gotta get your ass to church on time.
Who are you here to visit, sir?
Father Stu.
You and everybody else.
When the man comes around.
We shouldn't pray for an easy life, but the strength to endure a difficult one. Well, you can't say I never gave you nothing.
Yeah, I skipped over thanking you. Went straight to the source.
Exclusively in
There
movie
we go.
theaters.
All right, Father Stu.
Yeah. So, I'm going to say something real quick about this film. I am not a religious person, but I'm a big fan of seeing stories of people who are overcoming struggles in their lives. And, I don't give a shit, really give a shit what their background is. I really just care about the story and what they go through and how they learn to overcome that. And if by means of religion is helping them to do so, then I'm all for it. But I'm really just curious to see Mark Wahlberg's performance, because I love him as an actor. I think he's truly an underrated actor. I think some people do know he's a good actor, but I'm hoping that this movie does showcase a side of him that most of us are not used to seeing. So I have a lot of confidence that with what we've seen in the trailer, we'll actually carry on with the film. So I'm I have a lot of high hopes for this movie when, especially when I first heard about his commitment to the project here. So that's how I feel about the film. But I'm not sure if you have any other feelings towards the film that you have that apart from what I just said here.
Actually, what you kind of stole the words from my mouth.
Oh, okay.
I was actually gonna say the same thing. I grew up I'm Filipino, man, super Catholic. Filipinos are very Catholic, very Christian, went to church all the time. That was my upbringing. But as I grew older, my parents, or at least, my father was always out, and he was a hippie. His whole family were hippies, so they didn't really push religion. It was more so from like my mother, the Christian side, but she also, I think when she left the Philippines, it didn't become that much of a push. She liked us to go when we were younger, but then once we became teenagers, she didn't push us that much. But I was still around a very large Filipino community that kind of pressured us through aunties and uncles and all that. So with that said, if you're super religious, I'm not here to judge you or whatever. This is a judgment-free zone, just like Rob said. I kind of have mixed feelings about organized religion through my own education of life and history in the world. So I like redemption stories, to your point, Rob. That's what intrigues me about this. And like I said, it's kind of funny. Shout out to the marketing team. Let's put this out on Easter weekend. People will gravitate towards
Perfect
this.
timing.
Exactly. So, good on them. But no, I think we all need redemption stories. I think they're important. We've all been low, and sometimes we need to know that that even though we get low, we'll get high again, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get high.
In many ways,
she's in there to get you up.
So that there's a come up. There's a come up from just, even though you might hit your low point, there's more life to live. And so Mark Wahlberg has done some things specifically to the Asian community that I don't really like so much, but his overall body of work, when I separate the person from the material, I do dig some of his work, as well as the same thing can be said with Mel Gibson. But looking at the cast, shout out to Elaine Wee, who's been on Show Pal Show. He's one of the actors in there. Shout out to him. Good to see him getting in work. And I thought I saw Ian Collins, but he's not in this cast. But yeah, it's good to see Elaine Wee in there. But Father Stu looks interesting, and I'm not gonna hit out to the theater to see it, to be perfectly honest. But if I catch it streaming, then I'll give it a watch.
Damn, no theaters, but you will watch it at home. I got you, man. I would pay to see this movie. I honestly would want to see this film in theaters. I'm a Marky Mark fan. I love him as an actor. I think he's a really good actor.
And you said paying. I won't pay to see it in theater, but I do pay for my streaming services.
Oh, no. I'm not referring to that.
I do have my form of payment in that regard.
No, I'm talking about paying in theater. That's what I'm referring to strictly here. Yeah, but no, it's all good though. But yeah, I'm all for it here. So obviously for you and I, well, at least for me, it's definitely a high thumbs up for me to check out the film. You are more or less kind of in the same range as well too.
I'll check it out when it's streaming. I'm not heading out to the theater.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So the second film. Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. This movie, I really didn't have any intention of seeing it all before the whole controversy surrounding Johnny Depp here. Then they replaced him with actor Mads Mikkelsen, and I was already in just off of him alone. The only reason why I would want to see this movie is because of him. I love him as an actor. He's one of the greatest actors in our generation. He's really good at playing villains, and the fact that they grab, if there was somebody else that could play a villain and you want to use a top tier actor to do that, Mads Mikkelsen comes to mind, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to do this with this movie. Never seen all the other ones before. Had no interest, still don't have any interest, but I do have an interest for this film solely because of him. So this is going to be for Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Let's roll the trailer.
Kingdom of Bhutan. Some of our most important magic has its origins there. And they say if you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you. The world as we know it is coming undone. Things that seem unimaginable today will seem inevitable tomorrow.
Damn.
That was cool.
I imagine that you're all wondering why you find yourselves here. From this moment forward, each of us has been assigned a role to play.
If we're to defeat Grindelwald,
There he
you'll
is.
have to trust me, even when every instinct tells you not to.
Dumbledore asked that I give you something, Jacob. Are you kidding me right now?
What you're doing is madness. With or without you, I'll burn down their world. Do you really intend to turn your back on your own kind?
Rescuing me, are you? Oh, well done.
Off to save the world, are we?
Not to worry. You'll be perfectly safe.
Our war with the Muggles begins today!
How will we fulfill our destinies and transform the world?
You're not swiveling properly.
I'm swiveling like you're swiveling, Newt.
I don't believe you are.
All right, there we go.
I'm gonna ask you what you think of this year, because I'm not sure if you're a Harry Potter fan, because I don't think I've ever even asked if you grew up watching if you watched the films when they first came out back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm an old head, so I remember when all of this started coming out and the fandom started clamoring over it. Yeah,
Same here.
I watched the original Harry Potter films for the most part. I think I stopped after maybe the third or fourth film. I would still buy the Blu-ray DVDs because I'm a Blu-ray DVD collector. So I have all the films on digital as well as on Blu-ray. But I just never got around to it. But what does grab me and makes me eventually want to watch them, and why I still bought them, is because it's a visual spectacle. There's a lot of budget that they put into it, the actors involved with it. So yeah, it intrigues me to check it out at some point. So that was the Harry Potter films, and then when Fantastic Beasts came along, the same deal. I haven't seen, I want to say, the first two Fantastic Beasts. This is the third film, I believe. In that. And so again, I don't have that familiarity. The first two, I picked it up, own them, but I haven't watched them. And so I'm not racing to go see them. What grabs me is, again, the visual spectacle. Like, that's a beautiful trailer. I notice a lot of actors I'm familiar with. The effects look pretty decent. But I'm not exactly running to it. I'm not, this is for people that are into that. I'm a superhero guy. I'm pre-ordering my tickets if it's like a superhero or that kind of type of genre film. There's specific genres that I'm really into. Magic, Potterverse, I'm okay with it. If it's playing, I'll check it out. Again, I purchase it to later watch, but it's not on my first thing to do list. So that's what we will, that's my feelings on it. I'll check it out, but it's not on the top of my list.
Yeah. So despite, seeing the trailer, I definitely see the appeal. I've always known that the appeal was always there. I agree with you. I'm taking from what you just said there, that the visuals are spectacular. I have to agree with 100%. But for whatever reason, the story's never really appealed to me. I almost know the whole story just because of what everyone has shared online. So I never really feel compelled to want to watch it. But honestly, the only thing that really keeps me intrigued and want to check out the film is solely because of Mads Mikkelsen. I love him as an actor. I think he's a really good actor, as I said before. But will I go watch and see it in theaters? Most likely not. But I definitely would buy the movie, really only because of him. So that would be the extent of my relationship and wanting to invest in the movie. But if the opportunity arises where my kid wants to see the movie, I'd go watch it with them. That's how I would go as far as paying to see the movie. But otherwise, if I have no other reason to go, I'm not going to check it out until later. That's
all right. So not our cup of tea, but not everything has to be for us. There's material made for everyone. And so this is just one of those projects that's for somebody else, not just the both of us. So your last pick, brother, let's talk about that one.
So the last pick,
not your last pick, but your top pick. I hate to say last because it's really the top pick of the picks.
Well, and put it like this: we saved the best for last.
There we go.
So
there we go.
we are going to be checking out a Netflix original film that I have heard about and I don't know much about other than what I read in the synopsis. So I'm really curious to see how this will play out because it does feature one of my favorite horror actors of all time. So let's check out the trailer for Choose or Die.
And I will add, we already did a gaming. We did the trailer reaction to this with the gaming squad. Shout out to Webster Style and Brian Saff. And then as they were doing it, as the producer on the outside end, I had to chime in. This is dope. This is probably my top pick this week as well. So I'm happy that Rob made this his top pick because I've seen this and this looks freaking awesome. Let's go.
All right. Congratulations. You are worthy. And remember, reality is cursed.
You're not special. You are fired.
Saw the eviction notice.
This used to be a good neighborhood.
What's this?
Cursor.
With a 125 grand prize?
There are a ton of unclaimed prizes from retro games.
Could be easy money. You know Wilkie's on 37th?
Yes, I do.
Meet me there tonight at 1:30.
It's a date.
It's a deal.
Oh man,
So like anything I've ever seen before.
It seemed to affect reality.
You have to choose, Kayla. Choose or die.
Clean up.
Stop! Oh, God.
Wild, son.
How was it doing? It's almost putting the words on the screen before I say it. I don't see how a video game can kill someone.
The more the cursed suffer, the more the cursor benefits.
If it sent you here, it can't be for anything good.
It's gonna hurt.
We gotta choose, Caleb.
I think you might be what it was looking for.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
There we go.
Dude, man, anything with sharp things, man, I can't watch. But I love this shit, though. I love it, but I just can't watch it. Oh.
What do you think, man? You saw
Dude,
it
this
now.
looks awesome, man. I love this concept. We've seen this kind of before. We've seen this before on.
It's like a Saw type of film, you know?
Right, but I think this one looks like it's handling it much better from some of the other films that kind of deal with that kind of concept.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really intrigued, and the actors that are in this movie too. Austin Butterfield, who's in Hugo, the Scorsese film, and he's also in that Netflix show too. I forget what it's called. Sex Drive, I think is what it's called. I can't remember. Or Sex Education. That's what it was. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I think Eddie Marsden, I think is the actor's name. The dude with the beard who was like supposed to like kill somebody on the computer, whatever it was. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Yeah, the fact that it gave me the cringes like that, I'm already hooked in, man. If you can do that to me in a trailer, I'm anticipating to be grossed out with this movie once it comes out on Netflix on the 15th, if I recall correctly here. So yeah,
this week. That's why it's your top pick, brother. So I know I'll be tuning in. I got Netflix. This is why I have that subscription. So yeah, that's going to be a Friday night watch for sure.
Yeah, same here. All right, so that's going to be a thumbs up for the both of us here. So I guess we can just call it a day, right? Damn, so quickly. I'm surprised how time flies here when you're having fun. All right, well then, so I guess in closing, we can try to tell everybody where we are available on social media. So Mr. Kuya P, where can they follow you, good sir?
You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and IG at the legend Kuya P. Of course, Show Pow Show. That's my Philippine X content. And of course, here with Rob and the squad, everybody at the NRW and Unreleased Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. And for you, Rob Medina, how can they follow you?
Well, you all can follow me on the socials on my Instagram and Twitter, Mr. Rob Medina, and on Facebook, simply just Rob Medina, and my show social media account on Instagram, You're So Cool with Rob Medina, and on Twitter, You're So Cool WRM. And that is going to be it for us all here, guys. I appreciate very much for checking us out here. So be sure to check out all the other videos we got coming on the pipeline. for the NRW. And until next time, you all stay safe out there and au revoir.
Deuces.